السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How's it going? Yeah, just send me a text message. His name and text message. Show me the book, please. Can I see the book?
Oh, okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Huh? Oh, okay. Excuse me first. Okay. So we just I need to know his name and this text message. You cannot keep it for more than 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks maximum. If you can just come, you can come to me now. Okay guys, how's it going today? You good? Alhamdulillah. Okay, so tonight inshallah we're going to finish the second 10 ahadith. Alhamdulillah, we've come a long way and we're now halfway through. That's a great achievement, right? 20 ahadith inshallah and 2 classes, one for revision and one for the first test. Yeah, exactly. I just need his name. Just send me a text message and you cannot keep it for more than 2 weeks. Yeah. Now.
So there were 50 hadith that booklet you sent, so everything all 50 or was that 40?
15? What?
50, 50. A hadith in the booklet you sent.
I sent a booklet that has 52.
No, 50 hadith.
50 hadith, that's Jama' al-Hakam?
Yeah. So are we doing all 50?
No, we're doing the 40. The course is 40 guys. What you need to do, the 40 now hadith, that's what you need to finish inshallah. And then the rest we can do together after if you want. I will definitely do them at the masjid, so if you want to come attend that. But the class is going to be only the 42 ahadith. 42 ahadith, right? 42. The 40 nawi ahadith are 42. The matan. You can find the matan anywhere online. The matan says the 40 nawi ahadith, and then you open it, you'll find 42. This is the matan that we're going to stick to, inshallah. But Imam Ibn Rajab al-Hamdali, he has a book called Jami' al-Ulum wal-Hikam, the compendium of knowledge and wisdom. And in this book he explained the 40 nawi ahadith, and then he added 8 ahadith, and he made them 50. 50. So that's what the brother is talking, what Subhan is talking about, right? So now we have 50 ahadith, but that's not what you're required to know. Why did you guys come here? Still being the side like that. Okay? So it's very important for you to attend next class. I just can't emphasize this more. Next class, you're almost going to know everything that's going to be in your class, in your test. Inshallah. If you come next class, and then we have, mashallah, Zayd ibn Rihan, he makes very good summaries. Jazakallah khair. Please go and read his summaries for each class. They are brief and they are just right on point, inshallah. Read these summaries, and especially, I can't emphasize this enough, that next class is very crucial for you to be able to take the second test, inshallah. Be able to pass that one. Class? And if you have any questions, we can also have it next time. The class after this is going to be your test. And then after that, we're going to announce the results. Then I'm going to Egypt for one month. I'm going to travel 1 month, inshallah. October 20th to November 20th, inshallah. And this time we're not going to have class. So we're going to have a break after you finish the half of the course. And then when I come back, inshallah, we'll resume with the other half to be able to take your certificate and do Ijazat, inshallah. Okay. So now we're going to start with Hadith number 19. Who wants to read English today? Okay. You can have one of these mics if you want. Please come. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Mawlana Rasulillah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Please make sure that you, in your intention right now, you're only here to learn and to implement what you learn and spread that knowledge. You're not here for any other reason. You're here to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by seeking knowledge, and then after you did that, you're going to implement the knowledge that you learned. 3, you're going to spread that knowledge. I really encourage you to take notes. If you're too lazy and you don't want to take notes, the summaries are being made for you, inshallah. But taking notes is very important for you because you take notes of what is important to you. You know, there are some pieces of knowledge that we learn that can solve a lot of problems for you because we learn some qawa'id. It happens every class. For example, last class we talked about Shar'u man qablana, the Sharia of previous nations. You find this everywhere in the Sharia. No.
This car's parked around when they can't get off.
Okay, there's a car parked outside 531 MSM. 531 MSM. What's that brand? What's that brand? What's that name? Chevrolet. Your car is black, Chevrolet. 531 MSM. If you're in this class and your car is parked outside, I'm going to give you a separate picture right now. This is your car. If you are in this class and this is your sister. If you're in this class and this is your car and you're walking the way of people, I'm going to give you a lecture right now. Unless you're a sister.
Why?
Because I don't want to embarrass sisters. Yeah, that's discrimination. Okay. I mean, you're married, right? You can't do that, right? For us, it's okay. Okay, hadith number 19. الحديث التاسع عشر عن أبي العباس عبد الله بن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال: كنت خلف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. And this reminds us of another narration when Sayyidina Mu'adh bin Jabal said, كنت رديف النبي. I was behind the Prophet. I was riding with him, behind him on his ride, on his camel, on his horse, or whatever else ride he has. But in this hadith, it doesn't specify where he was exactly behind Rasulullah, walking behind him or riding with him in the back. See? كنت خلف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال: يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمات. This hadith is very beautiful and so important for your heart, before anything else, for your heart, your spiritual being. إني أعلمك كلمات. احفظ الله يحفظك. احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. إذا سألت فاسأل الله. وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله. واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك. وإن اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لن يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك. رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن صحيح. وفي رواية غير الترمذي: احفظ الله تجده أمامك. تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. I was just giving one of my friends this advice today. تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. واعلم أن ما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك وما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك. واعلم أن النصر مع الصبر. This النصر مع الصبر, this advice is the one principle that I implemented my entire life. And it got me out of every difficult situation. We're going to talk about it now. واعلم أن النصر مع الصبر وأن الفرج مع الكرب وأن مع العسر يسرا. Very beautiful. تفضل يا حافظ اشتاق.
Abdullah Abbas Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, one day I was behind the Prophet
Guys, look,
sallallahu alayhi wa
Abdullah ibn
sallam.
Abbas, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas, sorry, actually, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas, his kunya is Abu al-Abbas. خلاص؟ So, عن أبي العباس, عن أبي العباس, عن, because you have عن أبي العباس, عبد الله or عبد الله ibn Abbas. Not Abdullah, عبد الله ibn Abbas. Huh?
One day I was behind the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, riding the same animal, and he said, O young man, I shall teach you some words. Be dutiful to Allah, and Allah will protect you. Be dutiful to Allah, and He will find Him in front of you. If you ask, then ask of Allah. And if you seek help, then seek help from Allah. Know that if everyone were to gather together to benefit you with something, they would not benefit you except with what Allah had written for you. And if they were to gather together to harm you with something, they would not harm you except with what Allah had written against you. The pens have been lifted and the pages have dried. Reported by Tirmidhi, who said it's a hadith hasan sahih. Narration from other than Tirmidhi read, be dutiful to Allah and you will find Him in front of you. Be known to Allah in times of prosperity and He will know you in times of adversity. Know that what has passed you by would not have befallen you, and what has befallen you would not have passed you by. And know that victory comes with patience, relief comes with affliction, and that with hardship comes ease.
بارك الله فيك الله يحفظكم يا رب العالمين. So now I was considered Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas, his students. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas in Hajjat al-Wada', he just reached his puberty. He reached puberty at that time. At the Hajjat al-Wada' time, the farewell Hajj of Rasulullah, farewell pilgrimage. So how old was he when Rasulullah passed away? Around 13, 14 years old. Right? He reached puberty at Hajjat al-Wada' time, and Rasulullah passed away on the same year, right after Hajj al-Wada'. So Sayyidina Abbas was just 13 to 14 years old, right? And yet, this particular Sahabi was one of the most brilliant Sahaba, was very educated. And one time he was asked, why are you so educated like that? He said, because of three things. There are three reasons why he is very educated. Number one, he said, lisanun sa'ul. Sa'ul is a form that we call it sighat mubalagha, exaggeration. See, when you come and ask a question, you are sa'il. Sa'il, you ask the question. But if you ask too many questions, you ask the right questions. Remember we talked before about what to not ask about, right? We had a whole class of what not to ask about. If you ask the right questions and you ask too many of them, you are not sa'il, you're sa'ul. We have 5 forms in Arabic language that we use: fa'al, mif'al, fi'al, fa'ul, fa'il. So number 4, one of the exaggeration forms in Arabic language. So sa'ul, he said number 1, lisan sa'ul. My tongue used to ask too many questions. So number 1, asking too many questions. That's how he became a scholar. Asking too many questions. Number 2, وَقَلْبْ عَقُولٍ. His heart is very understanding. He understands what's being said. And that's a gift from Allah. وَبَدَنٍ غَيْرُ مَلُولٍ. I said last Friday that one of the qualities of a believer is he does not get bored. Last khutbah was about 2 things. Do not be confrontational, because Rasulullah loves what? Al-hilm wal-ana. Allah and His Prophet, they love 2 qualities. Hilm and ana. Hilm is forbearance. Hilm is you don't pay people back if they did something back to you. You don't have to take your revenge. Halim. And al-ana is you don't rush to things. You take your time. And then we said the other quality of the believer is you don't get bored. Because Rasulullah said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَمَلْ حتى تملوا. Allah does not get bored of forgiving you until you get bored first of repentance. So when you get bored of studying, now your teachers are going to give up on you and you're not going to get your degree. When you get bored of your spouse, now again it's your family. When you get bored first on this class, now you're not going to be able to seek knowledge or in another class. You're checking. So he said three things. Number one, I ask a lot of questions. Number two, I have an understanding heart. Contemplate the Quran and the Sunnah and the Sharia. And I don't get bored. بدل ملول. There's one thing I noticed over the years. I've been Imam for 23 years now. Since I was 12. In this city for 10 years. When I go stand up in the Qibla, there's a sign that I know when people are bored. Do you know this sign? What is the sign of an Imam to know that people are bored?
They play with the carpet.
What's that?
They play with the carpet.
They play with the carpet. I mean, I don't see them, and nobody really plays with the carpet in the prayer. But during the prayer, what is the sign of boredom?
You look at the clock.
Too much coughing.
Yeah. This one. It's not coughing.
Yeah.
It's something else. It's to clean the throat that you get. I saw a brother today in the bathroom. I was making wudu. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Wallah, I had to come out of the bathroom and tell him, brother, you have to stop that. Because Rasulullah said, I just posted it on Facebook. People don't stop. In Facebook, I had to post this. Because in Salah, the scholars say that's called tanahnuh. When you clean your throat, that's called tanahnuh. The problem with this is what? If you in the prayer, if you make up some letters from language, you break your salah. Some scholars said 2 letters, some said 3, some said 1 letter. Because in the Quran, qaf is a word. Qaf. Sad. Right? So if you make up letters outside the prayer, that can nullify your prayer. So if you're in the prayer and you clean your throat, how many letters do you make? Ha, mim. Hamza, ha, mim. I'm not joking. Wallahi al-azim, what I'm telling you is written in books of fiqh. I'm not making that up. That's how the scholars spoke about it. You're making up letters. What about the guy that goes, I'm not joking, Uqsim billah, I hear that. Not in the prayer, ya am. Just wait until you say, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum, nobody is stopping you. But in the prayer, wallahi, my prayer is really short. Really short. I have brothers all the time telling me, Sheikh, I like to come pray behind you because if you're not here, especially in Fajr, somebody goes in to torture us. Everybody tells me that. I try to make it as short as possible. One time somebody told me, if you're not here, somebody goes to the Qibla and his mudud, the length of his huruf is like from here to downtown. And I know this. So I make it too short. Really, in purpose. So please just help me, right? So don't make a lot. Why we're talking about this? Because I live of boredom. Boredom. Sayyidina Abbas, when you're sitting in the prayer and the cross, I know it's bored. Sometimes you can be bored, of course. That is the price you're paying for knowledge. You're taking this for free. Believe me, wallahi, you're taking this for free. Doesn't it? Here's your hand.
I did that.
You did, okay. Okay. So you're taking this for free, and I really encourage you to invite your friends in the high school. It's a mission on you guys. Invite them. There's a class for free to know the basics of Islam from the 40 Nawawi Hadith. I'm not making that up. The 40 Nawawi Hadith have the basics of Islam. You can learn them through this matan. Naam ya Had.
Chef, would the rule of the 3 letters still apply if it's, for example, something natural? You're not unnecessarily doing, but for example, if you have to sneeze, it's like natural, you can't stop it.
And also said, وَمَسْتُكْرِهُ عَلَيْهِ. وَمَسْتُكْرِهُ عَلَيْهِ. And three things you're not gonna be held accountable for. Al-khata, what you make by mistake, and nisyan, forgetfulness, and what you're forced to do. So it's necessary, you have to do this. But I'm talking about somebody who do, like if you sneeze, how many letters do you use? Achum. It's a hamza, ta, shin, wow, mim, achum. And you're joking, and you love it, but that's not a joke. That is written in books of us. That's how it's written. So be careful. Plus, ask questions, ask the right questions with a good intention. قلب عقول, contemplate. Don't just take things literally. And بدل ملول, don't be bored. That's the price you're paying to be educated. He said, يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمات. I'm going to teach you some kalimat. How many kalimat do we have here? How many pieces of advice here? You have 30 seconds to count them. Look at the hadith and count. How many? So I'm going to teach you some words, some kalimat. Six. Okay, that's
Six,
one.
6 or 7.
What, any other answer? There are 12 guys.
Oh, I took the whole thing into the slice.
Yeah,
Okay,
there are
split
12.
it means to 2.
There are two narrations.
Okay.
Two narrations. 12. Look, kalima means what? Look, because this is a principle. What I'm going to tell you right now is a principle of how to understand Islam. One of the principles that you've been learning. What is kalima? Sentence. Thank you. خلاص. Now, kalima is sentence. You were going to say kalima is what? Word. But in Arabic language, kalima is a sentence. Kalima is a sentence? Kalima is a word, not a sentence in Arabic language. Because when you say what? La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. How many words? 7 kalimas. And this is called kalimat shahada. Look at this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, people at the hellfire, they will say this. حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت, when death approaches the criminals, they will say, رب ارجعون. My Lord, return me back to life. Bring me back to life. رب ارجعون. لعلي, perhaps, أعمل صالحا فيما تركت. Perhaps I would, fix what I have destroyed. Rough translation, right? How many words are these? رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت. 7 kalimas. Allah said after that, كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها. Oh, this is kalima? Oh, yes, it's a kalima. It's just a word. It's said, but it's not gonna help him. So words here does not mean a word. We learned this many times. Sometimes la means yes. By the way, sometimes la means in Arabic language, la means definitely yes. La uqsimu biyawm al-qiyamah. I don't swear by the day of judgment. It means I indeed certainly swear by the day of judgment. خلاص? And we have too many examples to talk about this before. SubhanAllah, taking Islam literally is destructive. Literally. خلاص? إني أعلمك كلمات. And after he said إني أعلمك كلمات, he explained. That teaches us one of the styles of da'wah. One of the styles of da'wah is catchy titles. Yeah. Catchy titles. To mention the summary in the title, for example, when we announce this course, for example, we say what? You're going to learn 40 Hadith. You're going to learn the principles of Islam through these 40 Hadith. Not because I said this, but because Imam Nawawi and all other scholars who explained or come across this matter, they said that. So that's catchy. Oh, I'm going to learn the basics of Islam in one course. And then you come to the course, you find all this. Well, this is actually the course, it's not the basics or whatever. So whatever. But the point is what? We're going to teach you in this course how to control your anger. That's a title, catchy title. In conferences, I was organizing some conferences before, and then the main problem is what? Is to choose the title. Choosing the title is the most difficult. To put in the poster for people to come. It's always that challenge. So Rasulullah knows well how to do this, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'm going to tell you very important words or advice. And now he's going to explain sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. احفظ الله يحفظك. When you do حفظ towards the Quran, that means what? You memorize the Quran. Okay. When you do حفظ to people's names, تحفظ وجوه الناس. You memorize people's names and faces. But if you do حفظ towards Allah, what does that mean? You should answer this. I don't have to explain it. حفظ towards Allah, because also احفظ الله. Do حفظ towards Allah. What does that mean?
Obedient to Allah.
Be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Observe Allah. Be dutiful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Observe the obligations and the prohibitions. Again, حفظ, the word حفظ means to memorize. But when it comes to Allah, it doesn't mean to memorize. It means to observe. خلاص? Arabic language again. And that's why I always say, if you don't know Arabic language, you can't be a successful da'i. You can't. And you don't have to be Arab. We learn Arabic from non-Arabs. We learn Arabic from non-Arab speakers sometimes. Very well educated in the Arabic of the language of the Quran. Like, احفظ الله. How is Allah going to do حفظ to me? You know, in every morning you say what? You say this dua in أذكار الصباح والمساء. Every morning and evening. اللهم احفظني من بين يدي. Allah protects me from front of me, ahead of me. ومن خلفي, and from the back. وعن يميني, and protect me from the right, from my right. وعن شمالي, and my left. ومن فوقي, protect me from above me. وأعوذ بعظمتك أن أغتال من تحتي, and from underneath me. صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is a dua. So Allah's protection is in your wealth, is in your health, is in your family, is in your deen, so you don't do bad deeds as well. احفظ الله يحفظك. The second, احفظ الله تجده. We're not going to explain every single sentence because it takes too long. I'm just going to mention some points. احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. Be beautiful to Allah, observe Allah's religion, and you will find Him tujahak, right in front of you. What does that mean? Let's think about it together. You will see Allah right in front of you. He will be close to you with His knowledge. He will guide you. So احفظ الله تجده. Again, what is this called in Arabic language? It's metaphor. It's ista'ara. Again and again. I will never get bored of this. Taking Islam literally will destroy your religion. احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. You will see Him right in front of you. But I cannot see Allah. But this means He will be with you with His knowledge, very close to you and guiding you in your life. احفظ الله. If you observe them, He will guide you. Another metaphor.
Sheikh, when you say that don't take Islam literally, is it Islam, but all of it, not of course there's certain stuff which we have to, but in general, is it Islam which we should not take literally, or is it the Arabic language used?
Arabic language.
Okay.
Arabic language. Like Arabic language, sometimes they have metaphor. Always, because Islam came with what language? With the Arabic language. So when I say don't take Islam literally, I mean to say it differently. When I think don't take Islam literally, I mean do not take Arabic language literally, because you cannot just read the translation of a text and you think now we have a piece of knowledge. No, you don't. You have a text, yes, but you don't have a piece of knowledge, because that's not Islam. Islam is in Arabic language. خلاص؟ طيب, I'm just gonna choose some, pick and choose some advice or some points, not to, I'm not gonna mention everything. We talked about the qadr before, so I'm not gonna really talk about that. تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. تعرف is make yourself known to Allah. Strive to make yourself known to Allah at time of prosperity, and He will know you at time of adversity. Right? It's beautiful. Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala, he talked about the idea of at-tamalluq bil-ta'a. What is tamalluq? Guys, just write down this word. Something you need to do with Allah. It's called tamalluq. Ta mim lam qaf. Tamalluq. If you do tamalluq to people, that's humiliation and that's prohibited. But if you do tamalluq to Allah, it's an obligation. Tamalluq is to try to come close to someone, even if you have to humiliate yourself. That's tamalluq. You tell him, Ya Rab, I came to Isha prayer in Jama'ah because I know you like it. If you say this to your employer, it's going to be humiliation. He's a human being. He's nothing. He's just a tool that Allah is using to give you something through one of His slaves. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you try to plead, just do your job and take your payment and go. That's it. But with Allah, it's not like this. It's not a tijara with Allah. Tijara means literal tijara. Tijara means what? I give you something, I take something in return, and I have no emotions, no connection. But with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's different. With Allah, you have to humiliate yourself. I don't just come to pray, take my payments and my reward and go home. No, I'm here to please you. Are you pleased? Are you happy? I'm going to do i'tikaf and stay by myself because I know you like it. Because I love you. Can you fix my life? Can you fix this problem for me? Can you help me to achieve this? It's only between you and Him. And don't do this in front of people, because that's showing off. By yourself. Nothing can stop in your way if you did that. Nothing can stop in your way. If you humiliate yourself between you and Allah, that's called tamalluq. And that's the meaning of ta'arraf ila Allah. Make yourself known to Him. All of us came to Maghrib. How many people came to Maghrib? All of you, how many people are attending the class now? But there's perhaps one or two people only from us that are known to Allah in a different way. Because everybody is known by name and by face to Allah. But there are few of us who are known to Him in a particular manner. They're only here, only intention. I want to learn because I'm counting now, taking a lot of hasanah, and I'm going to implement that and spread that knowledge. That's how you make yourself known to Him. If you're here with any other intention other than you're here to learn and only to please Allah, you're only here to learn and to please Him because He loves that you're sitting in this gathering, and then you're going to implement that because it's an obligation, and then spread that knowledge. If you're here for any other reason, please don't come next class because you're wasting your time. Or get up right now and go. Because you're wasting your time. You're not taking the reward. You're not taking the reward. Why am I here today? If I'm here for any other intention, of course it's my job on top of that. That's another benefit I'm getting. But if I'm doing this only for the sake of money, I better stop talking. Because my job. If I'm teaching you now for the sake of, you know what I'm teaching you? Why did I start this class? Because I know that some of our youth are drifting away from that appropriate understanding of Islam. And I know if they are not stopped now and taught, they are going to harm themselves and harm people in the future. I know this. I've been this for 23 years. And I've seen so many examples of my students and my friends in the past. I know this. It's the same facial cycle. The same facial cycle. You're so passionate, but you don't know the way. That's the only reason why I'm sitting here with you. Otherwise, I used to give regular halaqas to everybody. You raise your hand yourself.
Is tamalluq specifically to like humility and ibadah, or is it just humility in general?
Any humiliation that you do between you and Allah is an honor for you. But tamalluq is to do tamalluq to people. That's haram. Don't do that to people. You see someone sitting, ya'awzu billah. You see someone like, for example, has a like a doctor, somebody makes a good amount of money, and someone else who's just an imam. When you talk to a doctor, you know your voice. This is your cases fee. Why are you doing this? I don't know. Are you planning to borrow money from him at some point? Is that what you have in your head? You know, when I go to I have nothing against the doctors, by the way. Wallahi I have nothing against doctors, physicians. I have nothing against them at all. I evaluate the person based on his personality. I don't care about his job at all. But you know, it really makes me so sad. Whenever I go to visit a community, give a khutbah here or there, or talk to an imam, you know what is the first thing they say? They say, oh, this community has a lot of doctors. What? You will hear this thousands of times. Whenever you are in a volunteering position or management of a Muslim organization, again, I'm not talking about this message in particular, but it's everywhere have been. This means, has doctors means he has this money here, you know. So what? This money, so what do you do? Just say it. I came here a long time ago. One of the most wealthy people. He has a very close friend. This close friend was talking to me one time. Because I deal with people, I cannot tell you, I will not explain to you on camera how I treat wealthy people. Because you will think I'm rude. But after this is off, I will tell you how I treat them. I never value people based on their money. That is the last thing I do. The last thing I do. I just do my job very well, and that's it. And he came to me and said, he noticed that I'm not really giving him that due respect according to his criteria. You know what he told me? He told me, you know, this person, look at mention his name or his job or whatever, you know, he makes in a day what you make in a year or in a month. And he has, wallahi azim, he said his money can fill up your office. Okay. That's, now I know why you are his close friend. Got it. I know it now. You're close to him, and he moves you like a toy. You call it a toy? Puppet? Puppet. Can you spell it?
P-U-P-P-E-T.
Puppet. He treats you like that, and he moves you and he puts you wherever he wants, and he trusts you 100% because you do tamalluq to him. Yes, you know how to please him. Yes. Do you do the same thing with Allah? No, because if you do this with Allah, you will be very satisfied. See? What happened? If you did this with Allah, if you did this tamalluq with Allah, if you know that Allah has blessings that can fill up this mosque, you will not look at it to anyone. No one will be special to you from humans, regardless of his money. Especially that if that person is expecting more respect because of his job. La ya habibi, that's the wrong person you're talking to. This is the wrong person. If you are a respectful person, I will give you due respect regardless of your job, regardless of which car you're driving, regardless of what phone you have, regardless of what perfume you're using, regardless of your house, anything does not impress me. Does not impress me. I'm telling you, Waqsim Billah does not impress me. What impresses me is your good akhlaq. Ya Allah. That's it. Your good akhlaq and your knowledge, of course. Okay. So tamalluq, ya jama'ah, don't do tamalluq to people. Make yourself known to Allah, not to humans. Okay, we talked about qadr before, so I'm going to skip that part. The one advice that I followed my entire life, in any difficult situation, any difficult situation or anything I want to achieve, is one advice. And it works every time because Rasulullah does not lie. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He does not lie. He said, وَعْلَمْ, and know for sure, certainly, أَنَّ, certainly, أَنَّ means certainly. Know that certainly, النصر مع الصبر. With sabr comes victory. I mean, you guys are still young. But when you get a little bit older, like close to my age, you will know what I'm talking about. You will go to work, people are not going to take it easy on you. It's different. They're not your parents. You want to get married, they're not your parents. They're not going to take it easy on you. You're going to be on your own. You're going to have to fix things yourself. You're going to be put in certain situations. You have to get yourself out of it. How is that? Sabr. Because sabr brings victory. You want to achieve this class? Have sabr. You want to have this course, have any course. You want to achieve your degree, have a job, make money, have sabr. What is sabr? Wrong. Exactly. Wrong. Sabr, I think the closest is perseverance. Sabr is to do what you have to do regardless of the circumstances. That is sabr. It's not necessarily patience. Patience is to wait. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Do you think I would just wait it? I was watching. No, I was working so hard. There are three things. One time somebody asked me, one of my friends, he told me, you've gone through a lot, so how did you get out of that? I told them three things. Number one, my mother's dua. My mother's dua. It's a gift. Allah's given us. So make sure to ask her that. Number two is I do my job very well. Very well. I just do what I have to do, and that's it. I signed something, I have to fulfill that contract. I married someone, she has rights, she has to get the rights, regardless of, she's going to give me my rights. She has to take her rights. I do my job. And number three, of course I ask a lot of people experience. Number three is this. Perseverance. Wait. Perseverance, do what you have to do, all this. خلاص الصبر. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تتمنوا لقاء العدو. Again, you're not supposed to be confrontational. He says, do not wish for an encounter with your enemy. Don't. You know, sometimes, I'm not going to mention names, but there are some people, when they bring a da'i or somebody to give a talk, you know what they say in the poster? You know that's going to click right away. Are you ready for the lion? What? Excuse me. Click, right? Lion? Okay, what kind of lion is going to eat us? I don't want to go learn from a lion. I want a scholar. But what does that? What I'm trying to tell you here? I'm not saying that's not a metaphor. Yes, indeed it's a metaphor. He's a lion, which means if he has some enemies of Islam, he can break them in his debates. Okay, get it. I get what you want to tell me. I get what you want to tell me. But let me tell you how I perceive it. You're very confrontational. You love to fight. Seriously, you're teaching our youth that da'wah is to fight. No, da'wah is not to fight. Da'wah has never been to fight. Preaching Islam has never been to fight. Unless someone wants to fight with you. That's different. That's different. Da'wah is about being merciful. Da'wah, and the Rasul said that. This Yahudi, he said, Assalamu alaikum, death on you. You could have been a lion and told him, and death on you and your family and your mother and your father, reject me. Death on me. That's what our youth are learning today. Be a lion. That's what our youth are learning today. So what I'm talking about here is what? The approach. I'm not talking about a particular speaker or a particular poster. I know it collected some people's minds. I understand that. But it's used everywhere. Our youth are being taught to love debates and fights. They're being taught that you need to debate and you need to be confrontational and you need to be aligned to do da'wah. No, I can't do da'wah while I'm a cat, actually. I have to be aligned. Cat means what? Soft, kind, merciful, accepting, look for commonalities. We understood something called شرع من قبلنا, the Sharia of previous nations. I want to build bridges with you guys. And this is why at Al-Azhar, we've never, ever, ever promoted someone like Sheikh Ahmed Didat. Regardless of what you think. Regardless. I'm not saying anything. He's definitely better than me, the side of Allah. In terms of knowledge, spirituality, age, everything. I'm nothing compared to him. I'm no one. But the approach, what is the approach? Dr. Yasser, Dr. Zakir Malik, I'm nothing compared to him. I'm telling you, he's better than me. In knowledge, age, spirituality, perhaps. Allah knows. He's better than me in everything. But I'm talking about what now? The approach. The approach. Why are you teaching our youth to be confrontational? And then, what are the political consequences of this later on? What are the consequences? So I want you to answer this question. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Nabi said what? Rasulullah said what? لا تتمنوا لقاء العدو. Do not wish to encounter your enemies. He said that. It's not me. He said do not want to. You don't have to be a lion. Or if you have to be a lion, don't go say it. I'm a lion. I'm coming. Hey, you're gonna eat us? I know it. You're a lion. I like you. I mean, you're respectful. Anyone who thinks he's a lion, I will work with you. Everyone who thinks he's a lion. But I don't want you to say that. I want to say, are you ready for the speaker, for the scholar? Are you ready for the imam? Are you ready to seek knowledge? No, I'm not ready to seek knowledge. I'm ready to see debates and see who's gonna win. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna beat the other one? And our youth love that. And that's how you're attracted. That's how some people attract youth. No, that's not gonna work here. Nabi said what? لا تتمنى. Do not wish to encounter enemies. Do not. Why? I want. No, don't. But please listen to the end. Pay attention, please. وَاسْأَلُوا اللَّهَ الْعَافِيَةِ. Pray to Allah to grant you security, peace with everyone. Even with my enemies? Yes. Even with your enemies. They will continue to exist until the day of judgment. But then he said what? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because you have to be prepared all the time. When do I have to be a lion? When he said that. He said, فَإِذَا لَقِيتُمُ فَاصْبِرُوا. But when you have to encounter them, exercise patience. Yes, now you can be a lion. Because you have to. You have to. I'm sorry, look at what's happening. You don't have to mention cities. You all know what's going on. You see what's happening in campus in other cities, right? What are these kids doing? Allah is going to ask all of them. You invite a speaker, and I invite another speaker, and they go from different angles. And you know what? Both groups are approaching the same thing. They both are Ahlul Sunnah. Same thing. It's just, I don't want to listen to disputes, I'm going to destroy you because I want to dominate. Poison. One time I went to one of my sheikhs. I studied al-Hanafi fiqh at Al-Azhar. Sheikh Ahmed Mahrous, حفظه الله تعالى. رضي الله عنه وبارك فيه. السلام عليكم. I went to him and told him, Sheikh, he was my first sheikh. I said, Sheikh, I studied this book it's called Tamam al-Minna. It's a Hamdani fiqh. And I studied at Al-Azhar the Hanafi fiqh. I see a lot of differences. What is this? That's why I wrote my master in comparative fiqh, because I got to understand this difference. Why I have differences here. So what is this? So different. Look at this, it's different from here. I studied that at Ikhtiyar and at Azhar for 3 years in high school, and this 4 volumes, so many differences. He said this. He said, listen to this. He said, فيه, in this book, سم وعسل. It has honey. But in this honey, there's some poison. What is the honey? We're doing da'wah, we're going to be a scholar, you're going to become who I am. And then they teach you what? To destroy yourself from within. You're going to dominate, you're going to destroy everything. Do you have any more? I don't ask people for anything. Can I ask someone to make dua for me? The answer, the brief answer, because it's a long story, make long answer short, long story short. So the answer is yes, you can, but it's not recommended to ask people to do dua for you. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, when a Muslim makes dua for his brother in his absence, Allah will assign an angel to say Ameen and the same to you. That's briefly the answer, and we're not going to go into details because of time. And we need to finish this tonight. Any more? I don't have any more comments here. I think that's enough for tonight. Everything that Hadith is very important. It could be explained in more than one class. But I think these are the main points that I want to focus on with you. And the other points actually are some that we study together, or it's well known to you. Yeah.
The dua part doesn't apply to your mother, right?
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Because the Prophet said what? He said that one of the 3 du'as that are guaranteed to be answered is your mother's dua, or your parents' dua. Of course, make dua for them. Do you guys, when you go to your parents coming outside, what do you do once you come from the outside and to your parents? Is there a certain practice they do when you come from the outside? Assalamu alaikum, like everybody else? Like you say assalamu alaikum to your mother, like your sister and your brother?
Give her a hug.
And give her a hug. Do you give her a hug every time? Is that a practice? Any other practice? Is there a practice in Egypt, in some families? Our family is one of them. Once you come from the outside, once you come from the outside, first thing you do is to go to the parent and kiss the hand and go like this. Are you able to do this? No confirmation from anybody. You can't. It's not in your culture.
No, it is.
You do this? Yeah. Assalamu And you bow like this out of respect, not out of worship. And when you offend them, I don't know if I told you this before, but when we offended our mother, me and my 2 sisters, I don't know if I've told you this before. You know what Allah does? Allah does. Astaghfirullah. What my father used to do, rahimahullah ta'ala? He asked her to sit in the chair, and then instead of kissing her hand, you're going to kiss her feet. And do you know how we're going to kiss her feet? And I used to love that part. My sisters didn't necessarily like it. Not like they saw it as tamalluk. You know, they said, yeah, it's your mother. Do tamalluk. Do tamalluk. That's the only human being can do tamalluk. He says this, go put your lips on her feet. Wallahi al-azim, rahimahullah wa radi anhu. My father. Go put your lips on her feet. And do not lift your head until she asks you to. What do you think her action is? Just crying, right? And then she asks us to lift our heads. My sisters, they lift right away. I don't want to lift my head. I want to stay there. And then stay for a while. You know this one thing? You can't imagine, and you will not understand until you go through it. You cannot understand how many problems that one kiss can solve for you. Many times I told people, many times I say this, Wallahi, uqsim billah, if you do this to your mother, Allah is going to change the whole situation in your favor. Better than what you asked for, better than your expectations, and everybody is going to ask you, how did you do it? I have done nothing. Many things. Your enemies don't mean anything to you. Anything. I've been for 10 years here. Any problem that I have gone through in the city that you know of or not, any confrontation or anything, I call my mother. What? It does not matter. I know you're thinking of some issues, the recent issues and the past, and any issue, inside of the masjid, outside of the masjid, anywhere, I have an issue. These are my weapons. My mother, I tell her all the details. And I give her names. And I tell her, once I tell her that, you have to save her, give her a long life. I just tell her that. And then she says, I'm going to make dua for you. If she says that, I don't worry about anything. Put me anywhere, in any situation, against anyone, and I know it's going to be in my favor. Wallahi, I'm not exaggerating. Ya Rab, make them understand what I'm saying. Inshallah, you will understand what I'm saying. And everything works in your favor. And you just see people go on vicious cycles. One time, one of my youth came to me and said, Sheikh, the situation is getting out of hand, out of control. Things are getting now bigger, people talking. I said, don't worry. We've gone through bigger than this. Don't worry about anything. Khalas. Forget about all this. Don't worry about anything. I've seen too much in the past. I'm 35 years old, right? I'm not too old. But what I have gone through, subhanAllah, your mother's dua will stop here. Too long for you guys. I know. That's too long time. How long have you been talking to?
1 hour. 1 hour.
1 hour. You guys are so bored, I know. That's one of the 3 aspects of seeking knowledge. Ask questions, contemplate, don't be bored. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you on your things for allowing you to do this. Next time it's going to be a revision. You must come. Please invite everyone. Next time in particular, there is a revision on the whole 10 ahadith. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.